Hello, I'm Professor Valdes, and I will be presenting the online learning activity, especially by the experience that I have been acquired during the last year in interactive whiteboard. The activity that I've been presenting is related to the subject Map 1105 College Algebra. The learning activity is from the week 3 Function and Relations. The objective of this idea is that the relation and function will be introduced and differentiated. The characteristics distinct linear function and other function will be discussed, leading to the connections among the various representations of a linear function. The student will be identify difference between the relation and the function and determine whether it's a function or not, calculate the missing value of a state function or not, and recognize multiple representations of a linear function. One of the first questions that I will be starting since the beginning is how are relations represented mathematically? How can a data be organized in the way that provide instincts into the relation between quantities? How can a pattern can be used to describe relation in the mathematical situations? This is basically the activity and the content that I will be delivering during these activities. Product to the class, write three functions, 3 or 4 functions represented in the whiteboard. Some examples are the cost of paying for a gym membership, if the initial membership fee, the cost for renting movie, if there is no membership, and the profit for selling cookies if the cost for baking supply and the specific selling price. Represent one situation and describe one as a table and one as a graph. Ask the student to predict the values that are within the data and also beyond the idea. A student may have initial difficulties with some of this prediction because it's normally and it's just a topic that always have a high percentage of the students that do not understand at all since first day. We need to remediate this topic a lot because this topic, this mathematical topic, have a real connection to the daily life of them. The situation is just look at and call it relation and function. This relation will be held to represent situations such as this as many different forms and also help the student to understand how to interpret, how they analyze them, how they understand them. Let's begin by defining the term relations. Can you explain what is a mathematical relation in your own words? For example, how long it takes to travel between 2 points depending on how fast you are traveling. Providing different time and write down various relations. Call several students to come to the board and share this example. This is one of the activities that during the online process that we are living right now, okay, how can the student can interact each other and other student can see, the process that your classmate understand this process. This was one of the first issues that when we start on the online process in March, I said, oh my God, how can we deal with all of that? And then after doing several research, I found the best app that I had never forgot on my entire life. That is Whiteboard, Microsoft Whiteboard. That realistic saved my life at that time. I have been using this one for the last 12 months, and I consider that it's fantastic and amazing. According to Hankins, for example, in 2005, he resolved in the language math is the science and the primary study in UK. A student improved after introduced the Digiboard. We know that we be introducing in the last decades the whiteboard, but this whiteboard is interacting and also is available for share through Skype, the platform that have been using at MIU. As soon as we have the class, we can share the screen, and the student can see the whiteboard, and even they have many opportunities. The Microsoft Whiteboard collaborative digital is effective for meeting and for enhance the learning and the learning activities. Also, it's a very complement for all the classes. Excellent tool, plenty of options, functions, and settings that will be help you in the way that you develop your class. For example, this is one of the topics that I have been using specifically in function when I start represent for the student different graph, and then they start analyzing. By using the whiteboard, we can export text, image, videos. For example, in the following activities, the student has to find the relation. Every each input value is mapped related to the one and only one output value. In other words, each input value, there is an exactly one output value. This is some activities that will be delivering through the class by using the whiteboard. One of the best options that I have considered from that app is that also have a rule that we can help you to mapping the graph and create a graph by the options that the app is providing. That app is included for the student with the Office packet. They already have and for all the professors already, they come with the program, with the Microsoft program that the school is providing for free for the student during the time that are in the school, and also for all the professors having access to that. Okay, mapping, I told you before, is an input that that represent the constant of value, that we use the rules. We have several colors to denotate the different activities. Also, we can invite the student to interact at the same time that we are delivering the class, and even other professors, just by clicking invite, and we just click the email of the student, or probably if we invited before, we have access already to the student automatically on the corner. And then another option that I will be helping you with this one is that we can export image. We can export image, and we can input in that platform. That will be very helpful. And then we can write on it, to estimate the points and the coordinates elements. Will be very helpful and manageable, and very sometimes as the student is getting hard trying to get what we appear on the screen, but by using the whiteboard interactions, they can clearly see everything that the professor will be teaching at the same time, that they saw what the professor is doing, the notes, the most important details that the professor want to know that the student know during all the explanations. Could be more interactive, realistic. Okay, this is, for example, one of the activities that I have been doing with my students. You can, as a professor, you have a record of all the activities that you have been delivering during this topic. For example, if we have a student that they told you at the end of the class, oh, professor, I understand the exercise that you explained at the beginning, you can have a record of all the activities that you deliver into your class. And also at the end of the class, through email, you can share all the activities and all the notes and everything that you have been working during class. You can share through all the students. That will be very helpful, because if the student miss out the class, they have a problem, they can be on the class that day, they can have a record that all activities and exercises that we did during that section. This is the way how we can efficiently invite other students, okay? And remember, another great opportunity that we have is just share every new activities or image, everything that we doing during class, we can share through here. Is a is by one of the example by Coral Hinking and other artists said that clear, efficient, and dynamic represent, promote, engage, and motivation to the students. By others authors that say, for example, the Blanska and other ones said, inspire teachers to change their teaching method and facilitate the adoption of others application. For example, by other authors said, emphasize when say learners manage to understand more complex content by physically handling related objects and representation. The student can interact and the professor can correct at the same time that um, we are delivering the class, because we can invite the student, the professor posting the activity, the student, you invite the student to start working on the board, and then just by inviting them, they will be accepting the link, and then automatically can start right on the board that you are presenting your class. They don't have to use their own board. They can write on the board for the professor. This is another idea from other arrow that said the multimedia and the interactive possibility help pupils to recognize relations. That this is one of the biggest issues that we have right now during this social distance time, that the student want interactions, and this is one of the best app that we can use, that the student can interact, especially for math class, that is a class that the student have to do, because the student has to do to show your work, your progress, analyzing, and then by using the interaction whiteboard, could be you can get in this one, and will be very helpful, because this you can denotate, put some colors, put text. It's even better than the regular board. Increase the amount of engagement with the student, and also for me is very beneficial, because for the section that I have been delivering, the student can have record of everything that I have been doing, instead of the regular board that if we erase everything and we don't have any more. In that case, we have a record of everything that we have been delivering. The degree, this is from one actor that is called Kerner from 2004, that said the degree of engagement and the participation was felt to be increased. This was particularly important for children to interact with the material, and it was important for younger children to be able to drag words, image, subject, rather than writing in writing and drawing. One teacher saw the hand-up interactions that was very valuable for this pupil, but also through that all that interactions, the pupil were connectively engaged in the same task. In that word from that other, they compare the real life interaction with the interaction with the that the student can be capable to do it through the online process, especially using the whiteboard interaction. They compare and they by that arrow they have the same kind of engagement. To use whiteboard may be the most significant change in the classroom learning environment for the past decade, and the relation between the multimodal pedagogical and multimodal technology and gesture as part of the communications memory is emerging in an increasing investigated area to research into the teaching and learning. I highly recommend and encourage to everyone start using this app. and other acts that will be very helpful for engage your student in your class, especially on this day. Thank you for all of you to watch my video. Bye.